Disney's The Princess and the Frog, the best friend sleepover. Tiana and Charlotte had been best friends for as long as they could remember. The two shared an unlikely friendship. While Charlotte was a big dreamer, Tiana knew the importance of hard work. But the two loved spending as much time together as they could. Okay. Come on, Tia. It's one day, Charlotte said. Surely you can be away from the restaurant for one day. Tiana sighed. For days, Charlotte had been trying to talking her into going on a shopping trip. The problem was Tiana had too much to do at her restaurant. She barely had time to sit down, much less take a whole day off. Please, pretty please, with powdered sugar on top, Charlotte pleaded. Tiana looked around the kitchen. She still had to finish the gumbo, make the cornbread, and prepare the night's special dish. I'm sorry, Lottie, she said, shaking her head. Tiana's place needs me. I don't have time to watch you try on 100 dresses. Making sure everything runs smoothly is just too important. Tiana turned and went back to chopping carrots. Maybe next week, she said, or the week after that. Charlotte crossed her arms and pouted. All you think about is your restaurant, she said. What about your friends? This is important. I need a new dress for Big Daddy's gala. Lottie, Tina began, I told you. Fine, Charlotte said, cutting her off. If that's how you feel, I'll go by myself. But see if I'm around the next time you need help. With a stump. Charlotte turned and stormed out of the kitchen, slamming the door behind her as on the way out. That afternoon, Charlotte went to her favorite boutique. She tried on every dress they had. But shopping for a dress wasn't the same without her best friend. With no one to model for, Charlotte's favorite pastime just wasn't any fun. Meanwhile, Tiana finished making the gumbo, and she made the cornbread, and she prepared the night's special. Tiana looked at the pile of dirty dishes inside. Dishes were her least favorite part of working in the kitchen. But most nights she had Lottie to talk to while she worked. Listening to her best friend's excited chatter always seemed to make the cleanups go faster. Without her, the job was dragged on and on. That night, as Tiana got ready for bed, she looked out the window. If she had learned anything from the father, it was the importance of friends and family. Tiana sighed. The restaurant was important, but not as important as Lottie. She knew she had to find a way to make up with her best friend. Over at the Limbos estate, Charlotte grumbled as she complained. But most of she missed Tiana. Maybe she had taken things too far when she stormed out of Tiana's place. After all, the restaurant had been Tiana's dream for a long time, as Charlotte could remember. For as long as Charlotte could remember, and making sure it ran smoothly was important. Lottie knew she had to find a way to make it up to her best friend. The next morning, Tiana heard a noise coming from the kitchen. Then she smelled something burning. Flinging open the door, she found Charlotte standing over the pot of boiling oil and burned biscuits. Lottie, Tiana said, what are you doing? Just then, Tiana noticed a tear sliding down Charlotte's cheek. I just wanted to help, Charlotte explained. I felt bad about yesterday, and I thought maybe I could make it up to you, but now I've ruined everything. Tiana sighed and hugged Charlotte. I'm sorry too. I should have remembered that sometimes some things are more important than my restaurant. And you're right, at the top of the list. Tiana looked around the kitchen. You're right, Lottie, she continued. This place can run without me for a day. And I knew just what we need. A good old-fashioned Tiana and Charlotte day. Oh, Tia. Really, Charlotte asked? That sounds wonderful. Tiana and Charlotte cleaned up the mess in the kitchen. Tiana showed her best friend how to make bignets the right way. In no time, Charlotte was rolling out the dough and frying the perfect bignets. Now that's more like it, she cried, examining her handiwork. Next, the two went shopping. Charlotte tried on dress after dress. All the gowns that had seemed drab and boring the day before seemed perfect now. Soon Charlotte had found them not one, but not two, but three dresses for Big Daddy's gala. She even helped Tiana pick out the perfect gown. That night, Tiana lay on Charlotte's bed. What are you doing, Lottie? She called out to her best friend. I'm exhausted. Let's go to bed. I'm looking up for her, Charlotte began and trailed off. Where is it? Ah, Charlotte poked her head out of the closet. This, she said, holding up a book. Tiana smiled. It was the book her mother had read to them as children. What a perfect way to end our day, she said. Charlotte nodded and scampered onto the bed next to Tiana. Tiana opened the book, and the two snuggled up to read the bedtime story together.